Hi, everyone, and thanks for joining us for the second episode in our conversation with Venkat sir, as everyone calls him. Uh, all of you guys must have found the first one interesting, and that's the reason why you guys are here. Believe me, there's lots to hear and listen and learn. So let's straight away dive into the interview. I must highlight that some things happen to you naturally over your career at State Bank of India, which is that you've looked at so many different departments, and that I had to do it actively. It happened to you passively, so to say, which is that you have to keep reinventing yourself, right? Because when we started in the late 80s, it was even the call money market was controlled, and then that evolved, then the bond market, repo market, then the scam, derivatives suddenly in late 90s, derivatives. So for me it was great learning, and that reinvention keeps you on your toes. Also it keeps you intellectually stimulated, happy, career wise also it's good fun. So I must comment that of course SBI brings that value, and you of course have gained a lot from that. The other thing I must say, and as we move to my questioning about your SBI time, is I worked closely of course with all of you, but also I had a boss, Salwan Raj, who was ex SBI at IndusInd Bank for several years, and he was like an institution himself. And you know, uh, even 5 years after he had taken over as IndusInd CEO, he was on the phone once, and he got a call, and he said, "This is Solomon Raj from State Bank of India." So you can't take State Bank of India out of
Mhm.
people who have been at State Bank. I think, and whoever I speak to, by the way, your successor in the market space, I had a conversation with him, and of course Ravindranath, who's there at FIMDA, etc. Well, it's very very good to see the mutual respect and regard all of you have for each other, because you're all grown up together, and have touched each other's lives and careers in one way or the other. You more than anybody else, I think.
Yeah.
So,
See, one of the reasons for the success of State Bank of India, I mean, as we speak now, SBI is the bank in the country. I mean, we have more than
of course.
25% market share. But trust me, the reason why SBI is what it is today, there are one, the sense of belonging. I mean, everyone feels that I'm an SBIN.
Yeah, of
That,
course.
that 240,000 men of people, everyone thinks that it's my organization.
True.
That's point number one. And point number two is there is a bondage with all the people. We all grew from be it as a probationary officer to the level of DMD, MD, and chairman. So
Absolutely.
we all grew together and we have come to this particular stage where in other public sector banks, I think they need to look into it because the moment you become cross from general manager, you are transferred to other public sector banks. They won't continue as a ED in the same bank. They become ED of some other bank, and then third, they become managing director of some other bank. So
True.
there is no continuity here. But here, like the names that you mentioned, be it Ravi, be it even the current Ravi Ranjan, all these
Yeah,
people. I
Ravindranath.
mean, Amara Ram Mohan Rao, who is there right now as MD, even Ashwini Tiwari, Shetty, all of us work together.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
we all grew together. Of course, they were juniors to me, but we all grew together.
Of
That's the
course.
sense of
My
belonging.
one name I must remind is my dear colleague and your batchmate Ashwani Sandwani,
Ashli
who
Sindhwani.
is FEDI CEO.
Yeah, he's retired
So,
today.
oh, he's retiring today. I know his term was ending. So these are all great things. This is what happens, right? When we start talking, we go back to a lot of fond memories of the
True.
past. So in that same vein, I'd like to ask you, State Bank of India, and since this is a market show, if we focus on your DMD role as head of markets and Koshadhish, etc., of the largest bank in India, any specific highlights, any very strong memories that you'd like to share with us?
There are multiple memories, Manoj. I mean, it's not just one that I have. Right from the day we started off. I mean, I joined this treasury in '96 as a dealer in foreign department, Calcutta. Those days, our treasury
Of
used to
course.
be in Kolkata, and those were the days. At 8:30, we started off our life like we used to run to we were in the 15th floor. We used to run to 18th floor, and there was only one fax machine. So the fax used to come from Singapore. There is what we call a Singapore rundown. We used to
Right.
come from
Yeah, yeah,
Singapore. We used to bring that, and then Padmanabhan, who was a chief dealer, used to give us
yeah.
the
Oh,
dollar rupee rate. And then we used
right.
to add that and then come out with a card rate. That is how I started my journey in this forex markets. So preparing the card rates means those
And I
rates.
must add, sorry to interrupt, but I don't know whether SBI even today is known as daddy in the forex
Big
markets,
daddy.
because daddies come, like that.
We have the big daddies in the market. So those days it used to be great fun. And well, of course, Indian Oil Corporation,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
market, I'm sure you would be remembering those days.
yeah,
If
of course.
rupee depreciates, means they used to say a bank in the eastern part of the country had bought dollars. That is what they used to mention. Because State
Yeah,
Bank of India Foreign Department, Kolkata, we used to hit the market. Indian Oil Corporation they used to require dollars. So
right,
our chief dealer used to say there were around six dealers, interbank dealers those days, and in fact, he used to add another four and make around 10 people will sit in the front of the screen, and then he would
right.
say, "Now buy." So each one of us used to hit two, three banks, and then
Yeah,
buy the dollars. And suddenly, when it used to be so silent at around 38 or 37 rupees, you will find the sudden jump of around 20, 25 paisa. So
absolutely.
that's how we started our journey. And I was posted as a chief dealer in Bahrain. I mean, I moved from Calcutta to Bahrain as a chief dealer. There, that is the first time that I have learned how to do a derivative product. And we have done a FRA because I had some dollars which had come to me for 9 months. I didn't know what to do with those dollars.
Yeah,
But trust me, Manoj, this is a learning experience which I keep telling
absolutely.
even the juniors which I went and met them. So there is an offer
Very
that has
true.
come to me for 9 months. I said that, what do I do? Because we can only in there's 6 months LIBOR. All my assets were linked to 6 months LIBOR. I can do interbank placement only for 6 months. So if the interest rates go down and I take a rate some dollars at 9 months, and 6 into 9 something happens, what will happen to me? So at that point of time itself, I was thinking about my interest rate risk. And that's how I did my first forward rate agreement. And that's how I
Absolutely.
entered into the derivative space. It was by force. I mean, I had no choice. I said that I had to do some transaction. So we already had ISDA signed with some of the foreign banks like you
Right.
and
Yeah,
StanChart
yeah, of
and
course.
DB and others. So I did my first derivative transaction, but I was supposed to learn that I need to do something else. Then that's how my journey started off in the derivatives and the spot market and the money market and all. Because Bahrain, everything had to be funded by the treasury only. It is not that we cannot do retail banking. It is an offshore banking unit, and therefore that's there we came. And then come 2007, that was a time when they have posted me State Bank. You remember we have created something what we call as a marketing wing of State Bank of India.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right.
First ever time, State Bank said that we will go to the people, market our products rather than otherwise it's a walk-in business for SBI. We would never
Very
have
true.
go to the market and do it. But the
Yeah.
first ever marketing wing was created, and I was fortunate to be the first DGM heading this treasury marketing group. And we were marketing the while the normal spot rate and others, but one other product that we started marketing was those derivatives where we were doing
Right.
swaps and even range forwards,
Yeah.
seagulls, ratios,
Right.
all those things was marketed. But unfortunately, the market went against because of the global financial crisis, and we were interacting with the customers and all. So we've learned the business hard way.
Absolutely.
Then, with these treasury skills, when I went to as a regional head in Hong Kong, we have created a head office in Hong Kong. That was a time, if you remember, again, RBI permits repo transactions only up to 1 year. They would
Right.
not
Right.
allow beyond 1 year. Repo transactions means only 1 year transaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, we were a triple B rated bank, triple B rated country, but my objective was to pick up at least double A or A rated assets internal global. For
Right.
that, I
Right.
need to reduce my cost of borrowing. So I had, in fact,
Correct.
we used to do some repos, and we wanted to do a repo for a longer duration. I reached out to RBI and requested them that you permit me to do a repo for longer duration. They allowed me to do it, and that's how for the first ever repo of 3 years was done against my
Oh,
insecurities. So there were many new things. I mean, a continuous learning process. Then I came as a DMD Global Markets, heading the treasury of SBI. I was back to India and then heading it.
yes.
And that was a time again we had. It was really challenging. It's not just the taking positions. I know people would, some of the treasuries would have overall, the AUM or the investments to the tune of around 20,000 or 30,000. Our people would buy that much amount in a single day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
we won't have.
Absolutely.
There was so much of money flowing into State Bank of India. We
Yes.
need to
Yes.
do ensure that my I need to get my returns. We need to ensure that your modified duration is intact. You need to ensure your ALCO is in asset liability management is
Yeah.
done
Yeah.
properly. Interest rate risk
True.
management has to be done properly. At the same time, we need to profits also. I mean,
Of
it
course.
and the scale is unimaginable. Trust me. I mean, that's sitting on such a huge, and it's a great team. Fantastic team. Jenna, Ravindranath were my CGMs. Then the people like Alok Singh were there, who is right now in Catholic Syrian Bank.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
These are the guys who are most smart people were there with us. And we have done many new things in the treasury. But going to, and again, this reminds me one of the important point. While the liquidity was not all that big a challenge, I remember as a chairman of FIMDA, I went and met Dr. Rajan and we talked about, you remember those LCR,
Yeah.
SLR?
Yeah. Yes.
LCR
Yes.
was there over and above the SLR, but it
Yes.
was
Yes.
moving from
True.
70% to 80% at that point of time. And it was in January. So in February, I went and met Dr. Rajan and told him, sir, this is the problem. Now, 31st March is coming. Banking sector is going to have a liquidity issues. So kindly either you have a fall LCR, increase that from 6% to 10%, whatever that is. Otherwise, we're going to have a challenge. And trust me, on 11th of February, I still remember that because it happens to be my wedding anniversary also. On that day,
Okay.
he had changed that. They've increased the fall LCR
Oh,
from 6% to 10%. So it gives immense satisfaction. We're not doing
yes.
for SBI alone. SBI had liquidity,
Absolutely.
but we are
Yes.
looking at the industry, what is good for the industry,
Absolutely.
how to do it, be it netting. You remember we there was no netting of derivatives. I mean, if you're doing a derivative,
Exactly.
cross settlement. So we netted it off. We fought so much
Yeah.
with RBI. We not fought. We have
Yeah.
requested. We can't fight
Very
with
true.
RBI. We can only plead,
Yeah.
and we pleaded with the RBI. We pleaded with the
Yeah.
government of India. Ultimately, it happened, but it was so nice. So
Of
we used to
course.
make representation of
Yeah.
together, and then it's a great story. And
Yeah.
SBI, it's not just the managing the assets. It's not just the we need to ensure that the profitability is there, interest risk is taken care, provide funds at any point of time. You can
Absolutely.
never ever think that chairman would look at me and say, we want to increase your balance sheet by around 20,000 crores, 30,000
I
crores.
do.
I can't say, no, sir, I can't provide you
Very
money.
true. Very true.
If deposits are not there, we are always there. So it is one of the greatest experiences being in SBI, playing any role right from the day as a field officer to being a branch
Absolutely.
manager of a smallest branch in a smallest village in the country, where I funded 5,000 rupees, to being the
Yeah.
deputy
True.
managing director funding 5,000 crores
Yeah.
to largest corporates and Boeing also.
Absolutely.
it's only in SBI we can think of that.
Great. This is very illuminating, and I'm sure even aspiring job seekers and aspiring traders, etc., will can learn a lot and understand where it's not just foreign banks and private banks which offer this opportunity. So it's very interesting. I have run out of questions. Is there anything else you would like to say? You would like to add?
No, no, but since you said about SBI, trust me, I mean uh, you all are in one organization, but this is an organization which helps you groom you in all areas of operation. People would come and tell me that we moved from A to B to C to D organization, but we stayed put for 37 and a half years
Yeah,
in one
absolutely.
organization, and that has given me, be it in retail, be it in
Absolutely.
corporate banking, be it in risk management, be it in
Very true.
treasury, be it in international banking, every area, every area I can proudly talk about. I can deliver a lecture on all these areas.
Absolutely. Very
That's
rich job content.
compliance,
Absolutely.
every area. That's the greatness of State Bank of India. And the most important thing is that talent is recognized.
True.
I mean, people like us who don't have no godfathers, nothing. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
same thing is true with your foreign banks and
Yes.
others. But in these institutions, when we come to public sector,
Absolutely.
you think that there is a need for somebody to pull you from the top. Nothing like that. Trust me. We all came from the scratch to whatever rank that we are, is because the organization recognizes the talent. And that's the greatness of that institution. And today, with that, whatever backing that I have in SBI, we are driving the things that what we're doing, like doing in the respect of investor awareness, financial literacy, doing new
A
things
lot
here,
of it is
like
coming.
IBA awards. I look back to IBA awards. We said that distributors also should be recognized by this
Should.
trade body. We never had earlier. So the first time we have introduced AMFI awards, so that I
Fantastic.
can give them to the distributor. So we're doing a lot of
Yeah.
things slightly different from what it was earlier, and that gives an immense satisfaction. The satisfaction that I got, I'll just give another 2 seconds. The satisfaction that I got when I gave a loan to a buffalo, to a farmer in a smallest village called Kawakoda in Chhattisgarh.
Right.
And if you see the happiness in his eyes when he repays the loan
Yes.
and takes the next buffalo, the same satisfaction that I was started getting when I do this financial literacy, go
Can
down,
imagine.
make the people understand, explain to them, and our vision, we want to be a part of this dream of becoming a developed world, and we want to do a small bit of ourselves. And I'm fortunate that I got this opportunity.
Absolutely. No, great, great. Lovely. So it was great talking to you, and I think a lot of facts have emerged. Some of them even I didn't know about you, though I knew lot of stuff. And I'm sure all the viewers will really enjoy watching and listening to this. So thank you very much for your time, and we have to do this again because there's so much left unsaid still.
Then it's a 42-year journey. Manoj. It's not
Of
a small
course,
thing.
we can't
And
finish
there
it
are
in 40 minutes. Absolutely.
so many episodes, so many incidents that have happened
Yeah,
in your treasury, in being in the treasury and in other parts of the world.
yeah,
But trust me, it's in the State Bank of India is a thank to the organization. It's a
absolutely.
great organization. We are fortunate to have worked with it, and fortunately, because of this organization, trust me, we have got good friends like you people. Because
Absolutely.
I'm an SBI, we could reach out to you, people like you. We could reach out to
True.
you, the best of the people, best of the minds in the country. We could interact,
Yeah,
and that's
totally.
because of SBI. So thank you very much for making, bringing back my memories and interacting with you. It's fantastic, and thanks for making me a part of your markets interactions. And all the very best
Thank
to
you
you.
so much.
All the very best.
Thank you, sir. Lovely.